Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Noaini binti Muhammad Zalani. My matrix number is 06DAT23F1002. I will be presenting case 4, which is about an ethical issue faced by auditor in a subsidiary company. In this case, the auditor discovered several serious problems, including false payments, fake purchase order, and violence of environmental law. We will discuss the case based on Chapter 4 and Chapter 5, which cover ethical conflict, dilemma, and ethical decision making. Now, let's begin the first part. Describe the ethical problem. For this case, there are three main ethical problems faced by the auditor. The first one is a conflict of interest. The finance director used his authority to make false payment and purchase order. This creates a conflict between his personal interest and the company interest. It also put pressure on the auditor not to disclose the issue, which affect their objectivity. The second problem is a whistleblower conflict. The auditor knows there is a corruption and a violation of the law. They face a dilemma on whether to report this to the authorities or stay silent. However, ethically, they have a responsibility to report in the public interest. The third problem is an ethical dilemma. The auditor are caught between following instruction from the finance director or reporting the misconduct. Both of choose carry risk losing the client or violating professional ethics. Therefore, they must make their decision based on integrity and the law. Next, we will identify the parties affected in this case. First, the auditor and the audit firm. Their professional reputation and integrity are at risk if they fail to act ethical discipline action may be taken against them. Second, the finance director and management. They are directly involved in financial misconduct and violation of the law. As a result, they may face legal action for their unethical behavior. Third, the government and regulators. They are involved because of the corruption issue within the company. These authorities need to take appropriate action against the violent commit. Lastly, the public and the environment. The public is affected due to pollution and the loss of trust in the company and the interest as well. Now let's move on the evaluation of each solution to the ethical problem. Option 1 is to report the issue to the auditor committee. The advantages is that this action is firm and follow professional ethics. However, the disadvantage is that the firm may lose client and face conflict with management. Option 2 is to refuse to sign the auditor report if the issue is not correct. The benefit is that the auditor protect their integrity and avoids producing a false report. But the disadvantages is that there is a risk of losing the audit contract and facing pressure from the client. Option 3 is to report the case to the authorities. The advantages is that this protect the public interest and follow the principle of integrity. But the firm may face pressure and its reputation could be affected. Lastly, option 4 is to suggest corrective action to the company. This can help improve to company, government and internal control system. However, the disadvantages, it may not be effective if the management refuse to make change. Last slide for my present. The best solution for this case is to report the issue to the audit committee. This solution shows that the auditor is a person with strong integrity and objectivity. It also helps protect the public interest and maintain the reputation of the audit firm. By reporting the issue, the auditor demonstrates professional responsibility as required in the MIA bylaw, which guide all professional accountants in Malaysia. Most important, this action ensure that the auditor avoid being involved in any fraud or violation of the law. Therefore, this is the most ethical and responsible solution in this solution. Thank you.